Hey everyone, welcome to the top 10 list. Here's my top 10 personal favorite Ryan Gosling movies. Yes, a few weeks ago the movies The Nice Guys came out, and I thought to celebrate The Nice Guys, I'd count down my top 10 personal favorite Ryan Gosling movies. Ryan Gosling's a great actor, and he's done a lot of great movies, so here's my countdown, my favorite Ryan Gosling countdown, my top 10 favorite Ryan Gosling movies. Alright, and before a top 10 list, you gotta have your honorable mentions, and I have 3 honorable mentions for my favorite Ryan Gosling movies. Honorable mentions are All Good Things, Remember the Titans, and The Believer. Great movies, just couldn't make the top 10 list, but what did make my top 10 was my number 10, and my number 10 is Lars and the Real Girl. Yes, this movie is really weird, actually. This is a very strange movie. This movie starts by Philip Gaspar to the movie Fright Night, the remake of Fright Night, and the story of this movie is about a guy named Lars, and he's a very socially awkward guy. Anytime a girl approaches him, he's very awkward. He doesn't like to talk to a lot of people. And then one day he orders a sex doll, and he thinks the sex doll is real. Like, he thinks the doll is a real girl and stuff. And yeah, basically he starts dating it, and people in the neighborhood are trying to accept it, and some people think he's crazy, and some people think he's socially awkward and he needs just a little bit of help. And yeah, this is a really strange, actually pretty darkly comedic movie. There's a lot of great dark comedy. There's actually a lot of good drama, and Ryan Gosling in this movie is absolutely fantastic. I think he's fantastic in this movie. It's a very well-written movie. It's a very original movie. It's very quirky. If you're not into the dark comedy or the quirkiness, this movie probably isn't for you, but I really enjoy this movie, and it's my 10th favorite Ryan Gosling movie. Coming number 9 is Fracture. Fracture stars Ryan Gosling and Anthony Hopkins, and in this movie, Ryan Gosling plays a lawyer who is working on a murder case. Yes, they think this guy murdered his wife, and of course the guy is Anthony Hopkins. And you would think in a movie like this, Anthony Hopkins plays a crazy guy, and he's great at playing crazy people. But you'd think in a movie like this, Anthony Hopkins would be the show stealer, but honestly, Ryan Gosling holds his own in this movie. He is absolutely fantastic. I think he even outstages Anthony Hopkins in this movie. I love the dynamics between these two characters, the good versus evil. And Ryan Gosling in this movie has a really good character arc, because in this movie, he's kind of a shady lawyer. He actually really doesn't give a shit about his clients and stuff. He's kind of an asshole, but he learns to actually care, and he actually wants to bring justice to the criminals and stuff. And it's a very well-directed movie. It's a very well-written movie. Anthony Hopkins is great, but Ryan Gosling is the show stealer, and this is a very good movie. It's an early Ryan Gosling movie, but it's a great one. Coming number 8 is last year's The Big Short. Yes, written and directed by Adam McKay, who previously did the Anchorman movies, but now he's an Oscar-winning writer and director, because this movie took the adapted screenplay at the Oscars. It was very well deserved. This movie is absolutely fantastic. This is about the recession. This is how the stock market crashed, and this is a very well acted movie. Not only Ryan Gosling is fantastic, but you got Steve Carell, Brad Pitt, Christian Bale, who got nominated for supporting actor in this movie. He was brilliant in this movie. Adam McKay's writing direction is fantastic. There's a lot of good comedy in this movie, but there's a lot of smart themes in this movie, and this movie talks a lot about the stock market, and I have no idea. I know nothing about the stock market. As much as I know about the stock market, I learned from Wall Street or watching Billions. But this movie actually teaches you a lot about the stock market. It teaches you about an historical event that was very tragic, but they do it in a comedic way, and it's very well done, very well directed. Ryan Gosling in this movie is absolutely fantastic. He's kind of an unlikable dick in this movie, but he's very funny in this movie, and I love his breaking the fourth wall constantly in this movie. He's really good. The entire cast in this movie is really good. It's got a very good story. This is a movie a lot of people should watch, because this is an historical event a lot of people don't really talk about, and it was a very tragic, very sad time, and it was really well done. This movie is fantastic, and it's my 8th favorite Ryan Gosling movie. Coming number 7 is Blue Valentine. Yes, Blue Valentine is a movie that is not always a great movie to watch with your significant other, because some people look at the cover like, oh, Blue Valentine, this is like a great romantic comedy or something. This is a great movie to watch during Valentine's Day. It actually isn't, because this is about a dysfunctional couple. This is about the ending of a relationship. This is not a pro relationship. This is a con relationship, and yeah, this movie is very dark. It's a dramatic romance movie. There's no comedy in this movie. It's a very bleak, very dark movie, and yeah, this movie doesn't really make you want to go pump up and meet a girl and stuff. This movie is not pro-relationships, and it's a very well-directed movie. This movie's directed by Derek Constance, and he's an amazing director, and he did a good job in this movie. Michelle Williams got nominated for this movie. She's brilliant in this movie. Ryan Gosling is also really good in this movie. He's almost unrecognizable in this movie, and it has his performance, his attitude, the way he looks. I don't even feel like I'm watching Ryan Gosling in this movie, and them two work really great with each other, and this movie is just brilliantly handled. This is not a movie, though. Again, this is not a movie you watch during Valentine's Day, despite it called title, which is Blue Valentine. This is just a good dramatic film, and if you're into good dramatic gritty movies, you will like this movie. It's not a romantic comedy, and you should know that. Coming number 6 is Half Nelson. Yes, in this movie, Ryan Gosling plays a history teacher who teaches history in another country, which is a country that is dealing with a lot of social issues and a lot of bad things. And yeah, this movie deals with a lot of great themes and stuff, and this movie is the only movie that Ryan Gosling got an Oscar nomination. He had no chance of winning, but I was glad he got nominated because he's absolutely fantastic in this movie. He's a very smart, very likable character in this movie. Anthony Mackie's also in this movie. He's also really good. This is one of his early roles, right there with like 8 Mile and stuff. This is just a really good movie. If you like movies about education and stuff, you'll really like this movie. And again, if you like Ryan Gosling, you'll love his performance in this movie because Half Nelson is a fantastic film. Coming number 5 is The Place Beyond the Pines. Yes, another movie directed by Derek Constance. This movie is absolutely brilliant. This is a 3-storied movie. This movie has 3 stories within each act. The first act story is about Ryan Gosling and Ava Mendes. Basically, he meets up with an ex-girlfriend. She has a kid, and he wants to provide for the kid, so he actually starts robbing banks. Him and Ben Mendelsohn are robbing banks. They become bank robbers. But the end of the story is a very tragic ending. I won't spoil that, but that leads into the second story, which is Bradley Cooper's story. He's a police officer, and he's dealing with corruption in the police force. And that leads to the third story, which is Bradley Cooper's son and Ryan Gosling's son, played by Dane DeHaan. They meet each other in high school, and basically Dane DeHaan finds out who this kid's father is, which is, intertwines with his story. Again, I don't want to spoil it, but it leads into a very sad, very emotional, very hard-hitting climax, and this movie is absolutely brilliant. This movie is fantastic. The drama, the writing, the direction, and especially the performances by the entire cast is fantastic. Ava Mendes is great, Ray Liotta, Dane DeHaan, Bradley Cooper, but Ryan Gosling is the show stealer. He's absolutely fantastic. His story is definitely the most interesting story, and he's definitely the most complex and very interesting character. Not the most likable character, but he's a very interesting character, and you want to know what the hell he's thinking, what he's going to do next, and he's fantastic in this movie, and this movie itself is a brilliant piece of cinema, and if you haven't seen it yet, check it out. It's amazing, and it's my 5th favorite Ryan Gosling movie. Coming number 4 is Crazy Stupid Love. Yes, this is not Blue Valentine. This is actually a romantic comedy, and it's a very good one, actually. Steve Carell, Emma Stone, Kevin Bacon, Julianne Moore, and, of course, Ryan Gosling himself. Ryan Gosling is absolutely fantastic in this movie. He is so friggin' funny as this womanizer who teaches an older man, Cal, played by Steve Carell. He teaches him how to pick up women, younger women, with these really funny and strange lines and stuff. He's great. But he also has the best character arc in this movie because he actually learns how to fall in love. He doesn't just pick women up, but he actually falls in love with a girl, played by Emma Stone. His chemistry with Emma Stone is good, but the heart of this movie is actually the chemistry between Steve Carell and Ryan Gosling. The bromance is stronger than the romance. Like, Steve Carell's great with Julianne Moore, Ryan Gosling is great with Emma Stone, but the chemistry between Gosling and Carell is the strong suit of this movie. They actually feel like partners. They feel like they're good buddies, picking up girls and stuff. The conversations they have with each other is very genuine, very real and stuff, and I thought them two were the heart and soul of this movie, and they were the funniest in this movie. Them two were great, and I love this movie. This is definitely one of my favorite chick flicks / romantic comedies, and I love Crazy Stupid Love. It's an amazing, amazing, amazing movie. Coming number 3 is The Ides of March. Yes, written and directed by George Clooney. I've mentioned this a bajillion times. It's a great political drama. It's filled with very unlikable characters, but it's very realistic. It shows you what people really deal with when they're in a political race for something very big, and this movie's fantastic. Ryan Gosling is amazing, so is Evan Rachel Wood, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Marissa Tomei, Paul Giamatti, and especially George Clooney himself, who co-starred and wrote and directed this movie, all brilliantly well, and this movie's fantastic. It's one of my favorite political movies, and it's my third favorite Ryan Gosling movie. Coming number 2 is The Nice Guys. Yes, this year's The Nice Guys. Yes, I just saw this movie once again this weekend. I loved it even more. This movie is hands down one of the best movies of 2016. This movie's fantastic. It's so well written, so well directed. Shane Black, who did both, and he's amazing. He did such a good job. Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe have great chemistry with each other. There's a lot of great dark comedy, but there's also a lot of great action sequences. I don't want to go into depths about this, into huge depths about this movie, but I'm going to leave a link down below to my Nice Guys review. I did a whole review of this movie, so I'm going to leave the link down below. Check that review out. You'll know my opinions of this movie. Honestly, this movie is amazing. This is one of my favorite movies of the year, and it's my second favorite Ryan Gosling movie. And my number 1 favorite Ryan Gosling movie is Drive. Yes, Drive. This movie is written and directed by Nicholas Winding Refn. I don't think, actually, did he write this movie? I think he just directed it. But yeah, this movie is a terrific art house action movie. Ryan Gosling's amazing. Albert Brooks is amazing. Bryan Cranston, Carey Mulligan, Oscar Isaac. Everyone is fantastic. Ron Perlman is amazing. The action is really good. The drama's really good. The shots are amazing. The editing, the soundtrack to this movie is absolutely gripping. The opening scene with the car chase, it feels like a realistic car chase. It feels like you're in the car with Ryan Gosling getting chased by these police officers. He's a very smart character, but a very quiet and silent character, and he's a pretty sociopathic character. He's amazing in this movie. Ryan Gosling's fantastic. All the action scenes work. The atmosphere in this movie just works. The score, the soundtrack just works. Every performance in this movie, straight up top notch. Oh yeah, Christina Hendricks is also in this movie. She's great too, but everyone's fantastic in this movie. The editing, cinematography, score, soundtrack, performances, directing, everything about Drive is amazing. It's one of my favorite art house films, and it's my number 1 favorite Ryan Gosling movie. So yeah, that's my top 10 personal favorite Ryan Gosling movies. So yeah, in the comment section below, please tell me, did you agree with this list? If not, give me your top 10 favorite Ryan Gosling movies. Comment below, let me know. And as long as you like this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and join the dark side.